Now, changing the management and culture, the first thing we did was an early retirement program. We had a lot of top management people, including the city manager of the city, take that program. New police chief, we're going to have a new fire chief, a number of department heads, deputy city manager retired, a lot of new faces, and I think new faces help us bring new ideas. With our city manager, we were looking for somebody, first of all, that had financial expertise. We felt that was the one thing, the Bloomington City Council said the one thing that we really need is somebody with financial expertise because of the tight budget situation we're in. So we brought in David Hales. David is been city manager in 3 cities, and most recently was a finance director in a larger city. So David hit the ground running. He found some problems, which I think is a good thing. That the moment he got in here, he started looking at the books, and he's doing his job, finding problems that we're going to correct. He's also very approachable, and the other thing we were looking for is economic development experience. I've developed quite a rapport with David. We meet daily. I need to help educate him. He needs to help educate me, and we work very well together. Secondly, the council adopted a back-to-the-basics approach. I had done a survey as mayor. The public said we wanted 3 things: stop the big projects, pay more attention to roads, police and fire, and water. For police and fire, we increased the public safety budget from $22 million to $29 million from the time I came in. We increased police and fire employees from 148 to 200. We saved our paramedic service, added 2 new fire stations, and increased the public, then with roads, 500% increase in our resurfacing budget from $500,000 to $2.7 million. Water, after years and years of study and doing no drilling, we finally have started drilling up near Hudson. We're managing the Coliseum. We've managed the loss down. Parks, I wanted to mention McGraw Park on the east side, Miller Park on the west side, Animal Hospital, Spray Park, mini golf, a new skateboard facility, the Grove Park wetlands, which won national recognition. Constitution Trail, we're expanding down from Grove to Croxton. Communication, we've begun live and delayed audio broadcast, enhanced the city website, and we allow full and open discussion at council meetings. I'd like somebody to ask a question later on about my future plans. The recession budget is certainly one. I can talk more about that later if somebody would ask that questions, but it appears like I'm running out of time. I want to thank you. Bloomington's a great city. I'm fortunate to be mayor of this city. There's frustrations, but it feels good to make a difference. Just like a coach, I'm building a new team. I want to be there to play it. I ask you for your support April 7th. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Ron Schultz. I retired in 2000 from the city of Bloomington. I was 18 years at the water department there, and I can tell you that the city of Bloomington was a great place to work. I have the pleasure today of introducing the second speaker, but I would like to make a comment. I threw out my 10 pages because they said that it had to be short, so I'm down to 1. And before I introduce the next speaker, I would like to thank the people who have made this forum for mayoral candidates possible, particularly Mr. John Parrott, Steve LaBerge, and Judy Buchanan, and their staff, or I should say their volunteers. This is a chance for the candidates to express their visions for this great Midwestern city, Bloomington, Illinois. In the end, there will be one winner, but the people of Bloomington stand to be the greatest winner. The 2 candidates who will not be mayor, will by their efforts and vision influence the direction of the newly elected mayor. Therefore, I appreciate all 3 candidates and the efforts that they're putting in. The next speaker is Terry Renner. I have a few things to say about Terry. He's a 3-term McLean County board member who has helped balance 11 county budgets in those 3 terms. He served as the chair of the political science department at Illinois Wesleyan University for the last 16 years. Prior to that, Terry has served as the Director of Research for the International City-County Management Association. He's also worked for the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Environmental Protection Agency. This is a short list on Mr. Renner, and at this time I'm pleased to present to you Mr. Terry Renner, candidate for mayor. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. And as Ron had said, many people know that I've been at Illinois Wesleyan and certainly know that I've been on the McLean County Board, but don't also know that 20 years ago I was the Director of Research for the International City-County Management Association. And the ICMA, as it's called, is the main service organization for city and county managers throughout the country. And actually they do deal a little bit with Australia and Canada, hence the term international. So 20 years ago, I was working with cities throughout the country, solving a wide variety of problems. So with all due respect with my two learned opponents, I think when it comes to local government policy making, I think I've got the most experience. Now, the real question then is, why would I want to run for mayor of Bloomington? My answer today is pretty much the same as when Charlie Schlinker interviewed me in December of 2007, virtually identical to the speech that I gave when I announced almost a year ago. And that is, I think we need a change in City Hall. And specifically, I think what we need to do is to open up the political process, restore the public trust, and I believe we need to have strong hands-on mayoral leadership to deal with the problems today and to prepare us for the challenges of the future. Specifically, when it comes to openness, I think we need to have televised council meetings just like they do in normal. So if you can't go downtown and see what's happening on a hot issue, you can watch it on TV. It's not going to be prime time. I don't think it'll be reality TV without the high ratings. But I think that's a critical piece. In addition to that, I think we should have regular monthly town hall meetings where the mayor and the city council member from an area and the city manager go into at least one neighborhood association meeting and listen. And I think if they listen, they're less likely to grow out of touch. And hopefully we can bring people back into the process, because I believe we need to get the blood flowing in City Hall. We've got some sort of institutional sclerosis that has set in. And I think what we specifically need to do in terms of our core challenges ahead with respect to the city's finances. I was asked a year and a half ago, what would I have done differently? At that point, it was clear that there were financial clouds on the horizon. I would have held a press conference and say, hey, we are all in this together. This is a common problem. We need to do several things. First of all, have a hiring freeze to be administered by the mayor and the city council. This is what we did in the county board when 7 years ago we had $1 million shortfall. It's not that we didn't trust John Zunick. We think he's Gandhi. It's just that when you're in a situation where you got a tight budget situation, you have to choke up on spending. And when 70% of your expenditures are personnel compensation benefits, that's the obvious start. Further, I think we should have competitive bidding on all city contracts, including RIMCO, which costs us $5.25 million a year, and in 14 years has never been bid out. Cities our size spend roughly between $2 to $3 million on those similar functions. Beyond that, I think we should have a debt limit. We don't have a debt limit in the city of Bloomington because we're home rule. I don't see any reason why we can't have the 8.65% that non-home rule cities have. It's the assessed valuation to debt limit, and I think we should do that and live by it. Now, beyond that, we've got other kinds of challenges and problems with our 911 radio communication system. As chairman of the Justice Committee, I was at the table 5 years ago when all the local governments from our region came together and we said, this is great. We're getting on a digital network. We can talk to each other, and we can talk to everybody in Illinois, including the Illinois State Police, except the city of Bloomington. The city of Bloomington decided to spend millions of dollars on an outdated analog system, and now they can't talk to us. And I think things like that are less likely if we can bring people back into the process. Now, what has been done? Mayor Steve Stockton is a good man, and he is well-intentioned. Of that, there can be no question. But how did he handle our city's financial crisis? First of all, proposed no solutions whatsoever, provided no guidance or direction to the city council. And basically, city council members threw ideas out onto the table, and it seemed as if they were dysfunctional. We need guidance and direction, keeping the city council on task from point A to point Z, and make sure that that's where we go.